How many of you guys know what fantasy football is? Ever since I was a kid, my dad has always been like a really, really big football fan. We like the Eagles, if anyone's curious. We're a Philadelphia Eagles fan. But anyway, even when I was a kid, how in the world did this guy get here? Nah. Anyway, ever since I've been a kid, we've been really big football fans, right? And when I was really young, like maybe 10, my dad had me join my first fantasy football league with my cousins. It wasn't for money or anything. It was just for fun. I think he gave the winner like a gift card or something at the very end, but it wasn't this high stakes fantasy football thing. But fast forward to today where I'm an adult and so are all my cousins. My dad has his own fantasy football league and he always has. And this year is the first year I've joined it solo, all by myself. And there's like an entry fee and everything. You have to like pay to enter and there's a whole bunch of things. And I wasn't taking it like that seriously. I was like, oh, it'll be fun, whatever. As it comes up, after the day gets closer, he's like, oh, make sure you're doing your research and everything. And I'm like, what research? Like how crazy, like how serious does everyone take it? And dude, the people who do fantasy in that league, like they really do take it very serious. And it makes sense. There's a lot of prizes and there's a lot of things that you can like win as far as money. And like I said, the entry is expensive. Like it's not like a cheap league where you just join. People like put money into it. So I'm not encouraging gambling. You know, you kind of have to pick your own battles when it comes to that. It's definitely something I really wanted to join because my dad's always done it. Now, for those of you who do know a lot about fantasy football, you would know there's a draft. And the draft is very similar to just how the NFL drafts new players into the NFL, where every single team gets to make a pick and they get a team of about 10 players, I think, and on the bench it's like 6 players or something like that. You basically just try to draft the players who are going to score the most touchdowns, the most points, and that way every single week when you play another team, it goes head to head against another team. Your set of players gets more points than the other set of players, and then you win. If you follow football yourself, you know that the NFL has already kicked off, and I've already drafted in my team. I've got a pretty decent team. I can't even lie. I have Saquon Barkley, DJ Stroud, stuff like that. I'm trying to think of who else. I'm not looking at it because I'm actually playing Bed Wars. But overall, I'm happy with the draft. And here's what's really funny. So the first week went, right? And I was playing this other guy that's one of my dad's friends. Now, I'm up about 130 points to about, I think, 90 points. And what happens is he has 2 players left. He has Deebo Samuel. He's the wide receiver for the 49ers. And he has Jake Moody, who's the kicker for the 49ers. Now, I'm looking at this. I'm not like a cocky guy by any means, but I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, well, I probably won this. I mean, he has 2 players and he needs to get like 50. It was like 40 or 50 points he needed to get to tie. And then more than that, obviously, to win. So I looked at it. I'm like, I'm probably fine. So I wake up the next day to find that not Deebo Samuel. If anyone was going to have a really big game that could have threatened me, it would be Deebo Samuel, the wide receiver, because wide receivers typically score a lot of points. But I checked and saw that I lost the next morning, and it wasn't Deebo Samuel who got all the points. It was Jake Moody, the kicker, the guy who kicks the extra points in the field goals. He had like 6-something field goals, which is like unbelievable, and he got enough points to beat me. And bro, it's so funny because like, how does that even happen? Lucky for me though, the fantasy football season ranges the entire range of the NFL season, so I didn't lose anything yet, but it's still kind of frustrating. I mean, I got totally cheesed. But yeah, that's basically how I just got completely cheesed in fantasy football.